The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Panther first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run with McCaffrey. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 41-yard line.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Chiefs 7, Panthers nothing.
To throw on 2nd down. Herbert. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. 9 yards. Pick up there, and it's a first down.
And a Panther first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. This is caught. It's Greg Olsen. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Hey, let's get this. Hey, Delta. Mike Fofo. Hey, let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
From the gun on third down. Herbert, he's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Carolina. And look at this. It's a fake. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on fourth down. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool them. And the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop. The Chiefs in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45.
43. Scene 6. Check safety. 15. Back.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. He'll get this to his speedster, Paul Richardson. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball. Check. Hot route. Hot. Hey, Ripley. Much 56. I'm here all day. 56 the mic, boys. 56. Check 56. I'm going to run you over. 15.
The play clock getting low, so Sean Payton says let's take a timeout. That's their second, so they'll have one remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back.
Yellow. I got one. I got one. Hey, Ripley. Buzz. Come on, baby. 52. Right, 52. Yellow. Right here. Kill.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
You better break. I'm letting you know right now. Watch twist. Bullshit. Attack. Smoke. 52, Mike, 52.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. And he finds a man. That's Watkins. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Last play, they didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Now they gain all those 40 yards here. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5.
15. Switch. Hey, I need one over here.
Now Elliott. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case. That he's going to bull his way into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A first update from Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. And early on, the driver's seat belongs to the Seahawks. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2.
Let's go. 70, Indy. 52, hey, 2. My 52, my 52. Let's go. Let's see. Go on, go on. Let's see.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Herbert dancing to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. On 3rd down, Herbert, and he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. We know that Gano has that big leg. He had the longest made field goal in the NFL last year, 63 yards to beat the Giants in Week 4. That was the longest game winner in NFL history, and he converts from long here again. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Mahomes dropping one to Williams here, and they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season.
Here I come. Hey, switch gears, switch gears. Shift, watch the shift.
Yellow.
Hey, check 24.
15.
Check 13. Check 13.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. That's going to be caught by Richardson. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes us 2nd and 9.
43, 15.
46-yard line.
He's crashing. He's checking
Hey,
crash.
57.
Slide. Nice 7. Let's go. Safety creep. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Being chased out left. He's going to take off with it. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Mahomes now on first down. Complete. Richardson has it. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. And now they come up and spike it to stop the clock.
Yellow. Let's go, Larry. Patrick. Hey, Ripley. Echo. Check 24. Kill. Check motion.
Looking to throw on second down. Mahomes. They complete it to Hill. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Push him back. Mike's 5-4.
Now back to the ground with Elliott. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up second and goal. From the 2 now. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Ezekiel Elliott as the first half is winding down. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 18 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation, either side of the ball.
And nothing but daylight ahead. Touchdown, Carolina. Christian McCaffrey in the final seconds of the first half. And the Panthers strike quickly here for 6 points. Extra point try good by Gano. And it makes the score 21-10. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. So we've come upon halftime here in Arrowhead with the Chiefs on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a third and about 5.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for third down.
It's a party now. 15. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. K1 short with a sack. That's 315 pounds a man right there.
To me, the defense was looking a little gassed near the end of the first half, but they've come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Chris Jones coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Looking to throw. Herbert trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. And this is caught by Watkins. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 10th carry now for Elliott. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Easy. Out. Slam.
Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. Gets this one to Hill. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is up to 18 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, ah.
And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Carolina. Curtis Samuel, 79 yards. And the Panthers, they're able to draw a bit closer. Gano now to add the extra point. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now.
Chiefs 28, Panthers 17.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20.
The Chiefs take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Mahomes now on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
From the 22, here's second and 8.
43. 15. Zoom, fellas, let's go. Right there. 54, right there.
Mahomes now to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's Shaq Thompson here with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Mike 52.
Throwing on first down. Herbert nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Check. Lucky.
To throw on third down. Herbert, and able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up fourth down. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. That's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive.
Let's go, Heavy. Tell me what you got.
Hey, yellow, go. Yellow.
Give me something. Here we go.
He's coming. We got double up.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And an alley to run. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 31 yards there and a first down.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Yellow. Mike 51. I got him.
Here's Mahomes to throw. Rolling to his left. A dump off to Elliott. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, 34 yards. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to 15 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Out of the pistol, McCaffrey. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
On your team. Fair. Hey!
On 3rd down, Herbert. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Here's Michael Pilardi now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. We're back now in KC. It's the Panthers in possession of the football, but facing a deficit here as we get to the 4th and final quarter play. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Carolina. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And this offense, they've got it set up on the silver platter. 1st and goal inside the 10. A very short field to work with now. 1st and goal after the great punt return. Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. Mahomes going to fire this out wide to Hill. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead opens up now to 22 points. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory.
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Only 3 yards on the pickup. They'll be left staring at a 3rd and 14. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all, and it leaves them with 3rd and long. And you know, this is the time of game where these drives really start to matter. They've got to make some moves.
And this This will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 71 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Operating from the gun. Herbert into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They start on the ground with Elliott. And they'll get him down up past the 15. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first. So a little breathing room now. 1st and 10 at the 17.
Mike 51, Mike 51.
Now here's Mahomes. Flush to his right. Got his man, it's Williams. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. No running room for Zeke on first down as he'll maybe get a yard out of that. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time.
At the 42-yard line.
Delta. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Switch it.
On 2nd and 9. Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 34-yard line. Mahomes now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Right here. Mike's 54. Mike's 54.
Throwing now is Mahomes. That one complete to Hill. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 34 yards. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Off play action. Herbert. Forced out to it, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Chris Jones able to record his 5th sack of the season.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. 9 yards on the carry, but it's going to lead to a 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Watch out for Hill on the return. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially given 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. The first down run for Elliott will net him about 5 yards. It's 2nd down. The corner, Ronald Darby, comes up to get him. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this one down to the 36. There to stop him, Juwan Bentley.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Kansas City, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Carolina, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Yeah. Hey, okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same pack and nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view. Hotel